Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN on the phone right now. Three-time Pro Bowler, one of the most electric NFL players to ever play. The former San Diego Chargers. Now they're moving to LA, but that's a whole other issue. Shawne Merriman, he is working with Bellator MMA, his lights out clothing brand. Bellator is tonight. Tito Ortiz, the former multiple-time UFC champion, taking on former UFC contender Chael Sonnen. Shawne, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. So first of all, I think the most obvious question anybody would have is, what is a guy like Shawne Merriman doing with Bellator MMA?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge MMA fan. I started to do a little bit of MMA during the off season in 2006. Basically to help my hand-eye coordination and endurance and stamina, balance, and I really just fell in love with it. And over the time, I got a chance to meet Scott Coker over at Bellator, and we knew we had this brand with my company as Lights Out, and we're trying to figure out how in the world can we get Lights Out into Bellator. So that's how my company, my apparel company, Lights Out, became the official partner of Bellator. And this Saturday, you can see Lights Out all in the ring on Spike TV with Tito Ortiz and Chael Sonnen. Should be an amazing weekend.
And Lights Out clothing brand designed for both men and women. The collection is intended and designed to motivate the customer toward maximum performance while providing the best in athletic wear to inspire the warrior in everyone. Talk about how the Lights Out brand got started for you.
Yeah, so, obviously I was known for having the nickname Lights Out, and in high school I knocked out 4 guys in my sophomore year. So I kind of kept that name Lights Out. But in 2005, when I got drafted by San Diego, I decided to start my clothing company with Lights Out, basically making T-shirts and hats that people would normally just wear to the game. It kind of got really big in San Diego and kind of spread through back where I grew up in Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. So it was something I had a passion for outside of playing football. It became one thing from being a hobby to something I just love to do. And now, I made that transition from playing. You always look for that next passion and what you want to get into, the second part of your life, and this is what I'm doing. It's all about building this great brand and Lights Out.
The fight tonight is Bellator 170, Ortiz versus Sonnen. We'll see the Lights Out brand all over the place. And you've been actually doing some training with Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz, multiple-time UFC champion, one of the best fighters, MMA, a pioneer, but also a great guy. Talk about your relationship with Tito.
Yeah, we actually shot a great sparring session and also a sit-down just up on Bellator.com right now. The piece came out amazing. One thing about Tito, man, he's done it for so long, and the longevity in this sport has just been something unheard of, and he wants to go out with a bang. This is his last fight, and he wants to go out on top, and he wants his legacy to be remembered as going out on top. So, look, this is going to be a great fight, no doubt about it. Chael Sonnen is an excellent fighter. I just finished watching the open workout just now, and he looks great. So it's going to be a great fight. But Tito, I don't know if I can see him going out with a loss this time.
And we all know Tito's a resilient guy. We know that there's a little history between him and Chael, but Tito is a guy who's overcome so many things in fights as well as in life. And, it just seems so right that a guy like yourself, Shawne, who came from where you came from, and a guy like Tito where he came from, it just makes sense that you guys would be doing this together.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've known Tito for almost 10 years now. And when I tell you he's in probably one of the best shapes that I've ever seen him in, he is. And I asked him all the time, I said, dude, are you sure you're ready to give this up? I mean, you look better now than you did 6 years ago. And he says it is. This is it for him. And, I'll be there to fight. Lights Out will have a few fighters walking into the cage with Lights Out tees on. You can catch Lights Out on lightsoutbrand.com. That'll also be in a mat and on top of the headers inside the cage on Spike TV. This is going to be great.
Shawne, while I have you, I'd be neglectful if I didn't ask you a couple of football-related questions. The Chargers, your former team, are now moving from San Diego to Los Angeles. What are your thoughts on that?
It was heartbreaking. It just started, I will say, probably the last day or two to sink in. I've been a part of the process along with some of my former teammates and Chargers that played before me, a part of the process in trying to keep the team there in San Diego. So we all thought it was a big possibility that they can stay. And there was a small possibility that the team was going to move. and you kind of just wake up one day and get this news that they're gone. And I think that's what shocked the fans and was probably more hurtful to the fans and community overall.
And, if you mentioned that you had been involved in this, you were a guy when you were there, you weren't just a part of that team, you were part of that community. Talk about, how this impacts San Diego.
Oh, it's a tremendous impact situation. And when I got drafted in San Diego, I was 20 years old. So, I spent a good part of my early 20s and all the way up to my mid-20s becoming really a man, actually, in San Diego and getting attached to the people in the community and the different shelters and the different, just everything that goes on in San Diego. And now that tradition is gone. Obviously, my heart will always be in San Diego and what that city and community and the fans have done for me. It's just sad to know, to go back to San Diego, that they won't have a team for me to watch there anymore.
You led the NFL in sacks in 2006 with 17. You have 45 and a half sacks for your career. One of the things that goes along with that, your sack dance. What is the story behind that?
So what happened was, obviously, people know me as my nickname Lights Out, but I ended up getting a light switch on my right forearm. And so when I knocked someone out or I made a big play, I pretended to jump up and down to flick that light switch on and off. That was a Lights Out dance, and it happened my freshman year at the University of Maryland. I'll never forget, my coach, Ralph Friesian at the time, had yanked me off from the sideline and said, if you ever do that dance again, you'll never play. Well, I did that dance a whole lot after that. So that dance was born there.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, of course, at Maryland, you were ACCC All-Conference before you ended up getting to the NFL. Shawne, talking about the NFL as a whole, you played defense, even though you also played basketball as well in high school. Talk about how much do you think the NFL has changed from when you stopped playing a few years ago to now? Is there much of a difference? Do you see the game evolving a lot?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. And the NFL has done some things to make it safer for the players to play. So I can appreciate that, especially when you hear guys having these problems post-football. So when you hear guys having these problems, you definitely want to do everything possible to make the game a little safer. But let's not forget, it's still football. You're still going to get hit. It's still a brute sport. It's a gladiator sport, and it's why people love the game. But to see them make minor changes to benefit the players, especially their long-term well-being, you can only praise them for that.
Shawne, if you don't mind me asking, how has your life post-football been impacted because of the injuries that you had?
Well, not really much, because I take care of my body like I'm playing this Sunday, and I always have. And look, I still train with a lot of MMA guys. I still get after it, and it's really about taking care of your body. If you don't take care of your body, you can be in some big trouble. And you see some guys, when they're done, they walk away from the game and they don't work out. They don't take care of their bodies, and they don't eat the correct things. And, you take care of your body will take care of you, and that's just the way it goes.
Shawne, before I let you go, we talk about the NFL. Who's your pick for the Super Bowl, the 4 teams?
Well, the Patriots are going to get there. I don't want to throw too much salt at Pittsburgh, but, they're going to get there. And Green Bay. You got to go Green Bay. Green Bay, man, what Aaron Rodgers is doing right now and the streak that he's on in the last 5 games of that regular season, I just don't see him being denied anymore all the way through.
Bellator 170 is tonight. Ortiz versus Sunday. We're talking with Shawne Lights Out Merriman. Of course, Lights Out clothing brand designed for men and women. The collection is intended and designed to motivate the customer toward maximum performance while providing the best in athletic wear to inspire the warrior in everyone. What's the website again, Shawne?
It's lightsoutbrand.com. We have a lot of new products going up in the next few weeks. Also, our new spring stuff coming. And make sure you guys watch Spike TV. There's going to be a huge fight. Lights Out will be all over the ring, and I'll be there myself.
Live and free, 9 p.m. on Spike tonight. Shawne, I really appreciate you joining me today.
Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.